Well, what I'm going to do with these, I suppose you could say fairings, couldn't you really? What I'm going to do, I'm going to bend these round a can of WD-40, which is around about the right size. Now to do that, I forgot to pick up the knife. To do that, I'm going to use a little bit of cling film, and the reason I'm using cling film is because I want to put some masking tape around, and I don't want the masking tape sticking and ruining the wood and stuff. And then I'm just going to leave it there for a long while, and they should then be more or less the right shape. So what I have is a bowl and an old washing up sponge. I'm just going to whip one side only, okay? And just gently, I'm going to put loads on, just a little bit, and then put that on there, put that out of the way. Now I've not rehearsed this, so it might go wrong, okay? And put some cling film, just move that out of the way there, some cling film around there. That's just to hold it in place, that's nothing more than that. And hopefully the water should still be able to escape. Right, there we go. And then I'll do the same with the other one. Like that. And then just have a bit of patience, and tomorrow I will take this off. There you go. And just wrap that around there like that. And the cling film then allows me, I've cut it long enough anyway, to put some tape around it. Or elastic bands, you could use elastic bands I suppose. But my chosen weapon is the masking tape. And just do that. I'm more concerned about the top than the bottom, if I'm being honest, but because that's got to go around the cowling of the engine. I will do the back. There you go. And I'll just leave it alone. Now I know it's covered in plastic and that doesn't allow the water to escape as much as it would, but it should dry out and should more or less be the right shape, because this is more or less the same diameter as the cowling, so that's going to help a lot. So that's what it looks like. I'm just using the cling film really just as a bit of an experiment, because I don't want the glue on here to affect it or get stuck to it and so forth. I just want it to be a, you know, that shape basically. So there you go. Well, they came out perfectly. Look at that. And I've given it a trial fit before I turn on the camera, and what a fit that is. That absolutely goes in superb. So I've put a little mark, you probably can't see it, there's a little centre line mark there, which I'm lining up with that 16th strip there, so that would go in the middle of that. Now let's see if I can do this properly with I get my hands in. Now I've marked it top right, so it's on the right hand side. Okay, so just lining that up now, and there you go. So that's not a bad fit, I have to say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue that in now. Now I'm a bit undecided whether to use C8 or white glue on here. I think what I'll do, I think I'll use white glue, because that'll give it a good stop. Because as I keep saying, if you use CA glue, once it sticks because it just absorbs straight into the wood. So what have I done with my PVA? There you go. This goes off in about 20 minutes, but fully hard in about an hour, and absolutely cured within 24. So I think it's a safe bet to use this. And let's double check how far that goes. Yeah, so it goes right up to that edge. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll just put some tape around it and let it go off. Just wipe off the excess there. Okay, and I'll put the excess off my finger onto the end. Plus a little bit more there along that edge. Okay, and along there. And I'll do the other side in a minute because there's a few things I want to show you. Make sure the cap's tight back on again. Done that a few times. Okay, so let's line that up. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. And I've marked the centre line. See, this is the good thing about using PVA glue. It gives you time. Because if I you know, even lining it up and wicking it in, you just, well, with CA glue, you don't get a second chance. You just don't. It doesn't necessarily bode well with me. Oh, it's all right if you're doing, you know, the odd thing here and there. CA can save you a lot of time, admittedly. Okay. Goes in. That lines up. Okay, what did I do with the masking tape? So you're going to need some masking tape to do some jobs on here. I went forward in the manual, and I'll show you where you're going to need it next, and that's on the top deck. So I'm quite happy with that. Tightly around, let it go off. So you can see it. One of those rare occasions when I actually looked at what I was doing on the camera. How about that? Now you've got these three little formers here, so I want to put some tape around that. So I'm very pleased about the way the balsa came out from using the WD-40 can. It's come out almost perfectly, which is going to be a big help. I'm surprised they didn't suggest it in the instructions. And we'll leave that. That's do its job. Okay. Now I'll do this side in a bit. I've put my finger through the stringer. I'll CA that together and I'll do that off camera. Now the next thing they ask you to do is actually underneath the cockpit deck. So I've done it again. Bloody stringers get on my nerves. Right, here we go. So they say put tape around this cockpit edge here and don't remove it, which is quite right. I absolutely think that's reasonable. Then they ask, no, I'm moving too far forward, aren't I? So okay, you got to put the gun bay floor in. The gun bay floor goes underneath this here. Now I jumped forward a little bit, for which I apologise, but due to work constraints and time, I just wanted to get it in. So all you got to do, the position of gun bay floor, is locate and remove gun bay floor from sheet 5, insert the part of the recess in the top of F5 and up against of F4 as shown, ensure that the floor is level at the fuselage. So what it's saying is, see that little gap there, put a bit of CA along there, but not this side. Okay, don't glue this side, glue that side, get it in, and then with a screwdriver or something, sort of lift it up and down till it's in the right place, and then glue it in, because that needs to be level with that. Yeah, so it needs to be level with that there, and once it's level, glue it in. It's a very minor thing, it's, you know, doesn't matter. Then that goes on top, the deck goes on top. Now with the deck, it shows you that you've got to put masking tape around it. So what I did was I put this around the WD-40 tin, rounded it, and boy did that make it easy, because what you've got to do, you've got to get these two slots to line up with the rear of that former there, which I think is 1, 2, 3, F5 by the looks of it, and get it to sit halfway on. Is it F6? F5, yeah, F6, because you've got to get the turtle deck on as well. Now you see that part there, this is so thin, and that is so thin, that gap there, that no matter what I did, the tape stuck to it and it sort of ripped it off a little bit. So what I'm going to do there later is I'm going to put a strip of balsa in there, sand it down, that'll become semi-invisible. But don't forget, there is a leather patch that goes all the way around here, so you're not going to see any of that, but you will see this bit, because this is where the guns stick out, like this way. So there you go, they've got that bit there. And then you put the turtle deck on, and I put this round the WD-40 tin. That helped a lot as well, and that goes on. He just butts up to this basically, but he didn't quite want to fit. It was just being fiddly, but like I said, I just filled it in with a bit of balsa. It doesn't matter, it's not the end of the world. But that part there is really delicate, you know. So I'm leaving this bit in here until they ask me to take it out for now. I think they show it. In fact, let me get my head around this. So here we are, step 25. Location and remove the 1/32 rear turtle deck sheet 8. Align the front of the decking with the rear of the cockpit decking along F6, and at the rear centrally with string at F9. Hold the sheet in place against the top of the formers F6 to F9 with tape, and when satisfied, fit wick CA along the top of the formers and along between the rear of the cockpit decking F6. But they show this part here as being taken out, this part. They show that being taken out. But I don't recall them asking me to do that. Oh yes, here we are. Once the glue is dry, remove the tape and carefully cut the tabs and remove the cockpit opening. So yeah, that's in step 24. So we can do that right now. I don't know if that's really a good idea to do that right now, but that's what it says. We'll go with the book, and we'll just cut those tabs there. Here we are. See that? Then in theory, it should almost fall out. So I'm trying to be as careful as I can because this is really thin stuff, you know. There we are. That's coming out now. Also, the other thing I noticed was that I use PVA to glue this on with, and I use PVA here. But I use CA glue along here. One thing I noticed was that the glue sticks to the masking tape, and that was half of the problem, because, and let's see if I can get this right, and I can concentrate, because what happens is the glue soaks into the masking tape, so when you pull the masking tape off you get damage. So it's a bit like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, if you see what I mean. Now there's the gun bay floor. See that there? So there's nothing special about it. Yeah. So you just glue it here, get it level using a screwdriver. When it's right, just put a bead of glue along that edge there. That's it. That's just where the gun's resting. So that takes us all the way up to, oh, look at that, masking tape's come off already. I wonder if frog tape might be better. Yeah. Got to keep your eye on that. Just make sure it's staying put. Because I think if that's hard and gone off and it's not quite in place, there might be a few tears. So what I'm going to do is now I'm just going to repair that bit there where my fingers hit it, and I'll just put it on this side here, and then I'll see you in the next part where we move on to the plywood motor mount, which is basically that bit there where we put the motor in. But I'd rather all this went off first, and then we'll look into that. I'm a bit busy at the moment. I'm getting one of my little gliders ready down the club this Sunday at 12 o'clock. We're going for the world record for having the most models in the air at the same time. So I'm just getting one of my gliders ready because I've not flown them for a little while. There's no way I'm going to put a really good model in the air for somebody to give it a mid-air, because you know it's going to be 50 plus people in a space of what, 70 meters, 100 meters. You know, there's going to be clashes. So if I lose a little glider, they're £8 each. So you know, I'm not going to take my Spitfire up there, that's for sure. Okay, so I'll see you in the next bit.